Hey, Frank here, and I just want to talk about more about how I feel about things and myself and stuff and all that. The biggest thing is that I think I came up with a pretty good analogy of how I feel about things, and that is pretty much how it feels to try to draw, make videos, or something like that. And that's like essentially kind of like growing emotional barbed wire, where it's barbed wire that kind of grows like vines all over everything. And the more you interact with something with that barbed wire, it kind of just makes you more raw, it hurts and stuff like that. It's nothing physical that's stopping you, it's just all emotional or mental or whatever you want to like call it. And you can take this barbed wire away by like kind of like ripping it out, snipping it and stuff, but it hurts to do so as it's emotional, not physical. So there's no like protection for it, and you have to go through all of that, put it somewhere where it's not gonna hurt, and try to get something done before more barbed wire starts to grow back. And the solution I thought was for a long time was just to find a way to efficiently either ignore it or try to get rid of it faster than it grows. And that's essentially just not like tackling the core issue or the core problem with it. Uh, the core issue is that you got to get rid of the roots. You got to get rid of the stuff that is growing it. What's causing it to grow and grow so fast? But the longer you ignore the problem, the more barbed wire there is, and the more tangled it gets. So it becomes more of a mess, and eventually just becomes a wall of emotional barbed wire that are just stuck. And it takes a long time to get through, and it takes a lot of like self hyping up just to even want to try to fix the problem. And like no matter what, you have to get rid of this barbed wire in the first place if you're gonna make a more effective a solution, because you need to get to the under part of it, where the foundation is, where it's growing from. And due to, as I mentioned before, a lot how I am the person who made my self-critical habits permanent practically, and very like severe. I'm the one who pretty much planted all this barbed wire, and I'm the one who fertilized it. I'm the one who took care of it because I thought it would be a good way to like learn to grow faster, to not to be that guy who says, "Well, it's just my style. I don't need to improve," type of thing. Like I never wanted to be that kind of person. Um, in a lot of ways, like I think that's just part of improving is to be that person and to eventually get past it. And I try to skip that step. And because of that, I built no self confidence. I built no clean way to deal with stuff. And sorry for the open window if you hear stuff. I'm just too lazy to close it right now. Uh, but yeah, it's like when it comes to a lot of the just trying to get better, like I'm very impatient as a person. I'm very impatient with myself, especially. And a lot of my impatience come from myself. I know I can be patient. I know I can do that, but it's really hard to when it feels like you never made any progress. And that barbed wire, which is of my own doing, is there, and you just kind of kick yourself even more when you realize that. Even though that's, I think, is part of the solution is to figure out that I am the cause of a lot of that. I knew I've been the cause for a lot of that, and trying to find ways to like build analogies and stuff like that is probably helps me just try to figure out like how to actually fix it. And hopefully this analogy gives myself some clues on how to actually like fix it, because a lot of like my problems is legitimately can be fixed just by relax, don't stress about it, stop thinking, just do. But but when you get stuck in this sort of like mental loop, it's really hard to take yourself out of. And it's just the longer you don't deal with it, the worse the problem gets. And even if you say I only planted a seed of emotional barbed wire, that stuff spreads. That stuff plants itself. Plants are built to be partially planting itself. Yeah, a lot of plants also rely on animals and stuff like that to spread their seeds, but like this stuff just spreads on its own. And I was the one who planted it in the first place. So the longer I decide not to deal with it, the more I'm going to have to deal with it, type of thing. And it's quickly coming to this point where it's like I need to deal with it. It's not just whether it would be technically better to do it now, type of thing. No, it's like I need to do it sooner than later. And I think doing these videos will be partly a help of it, just to talk about it and stuff like that. One thing that I know is definitely a big reason why a lot of people need like stuff like therapists is that they need to be able to work out their problems and specifically identify what they are. That's what the best part of like of a therapist is that they help you identify it, because a lot of what therapists do is that they lead you to solutions, but you have to take those solutions for yourself. Because you know the old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, type of thing. And that's the exact thing that I need to fix for myself, is that I have a general idea what the solutions are, but I just need to be able to just to do them. A lot of it is just not being afraid to just like relax about stuff and things like that. I know what my problems are. I'm overly self-critical, I'm overly self-judgmental, and I need to fix that. And fixing that is literally just relaxing. So like just talking it in videos would just be generally a lot more helpful for me to like be more mentally active about it, and to help like force not I don't want to say force, because I shouldn't force anything. The more I force things, the worse the barbwire gets, the sharper it gets. You never want to force a solution, especially when it comes to mental problems. But I like, regardless whether or not I should force it, I need to do it. That type. It's kind of like rocking in a hard place. You need to do something, but you can't force it to happen. So it becomes this like tricky balancing act. How do you not force it, but still do it because you need it? Yeah. So even now, like I specifically started trying to draw my smaller sketchbook here, and I got so frustrated within the first two head sketches, and like I literally right before I started drawing in it, I said, "This is just gonna be for fun. It's just for fun," and I got overly self-critical about it. Like it was damn near instant. It's like even though I wanted to draw, I wanted to like, hey, I want to look at my sketchbook. I want to do this. I want to take my pencil and do a drawing, and then I got self-critical about it. And it's like, but yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's just like I can't force it, but I need to do it. And more so, the how is going to be the probably the biggest part of it. That's going to be the hardest thing to do. And again, I think these videos and posting them are going to be a part of a way to like kind of help myself think for this, to like if I'm going to talk about it in a video, I need to actually think about how I would articulate this. And being able to articulate, it's kind of like the idea between like thinking of story beats and ideas and actually going through the storyboarding process. I guess you can say these videos are like the storyboarding of how I'm going to fix my problems, type of thing, like the actual planning aspect. And then I just do it on my own afterwards. Yeah, I think that's gonna just be it for this video. I'm gonna repeat myself if I keep going, but yeah. Here's to hoping things go well. See you later.